Hi, this is Jonathan. How you guys doing? Today I'm going to feature a guitar from Fender. This is the Fender Custom Shop Masterbuilt by Jason Smith, the ultimate relic. I want to thank Clement from Guitar 77 Plus for passing me this guitar. This very unique guitar. Now, some of you might know I am not a fan of Relic guitars. This one, it might just change my mind. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, the way it plays, it's the Strat-tiest of all Strats that I've ever played before. So this is a very unique guitar. Now, okay, just to run through the appointment. Basically, you have an ash body. Heavily Relic. This is the ultimate Relic. I'm going to talk about the Relic later on. And then you have a maple neck, maple fretboard with a skunk strap at the back. This is a soft V shape, really comfortable. You have a fret radius of 9.5 inch, medium jumbo frets. I do not know the material. Looks like it's nickel. Then again, I might be wrong. Yeah, it could be stainless steel. I'm not sure about that. I have to check with Clement later on. And then I have a bone nut here with a nut width of 41 mm. You have the traditional vintage Clusen style tuners, heavily Relic. A string tree here, the round ones, the ones that I like. For the body, you have a white pickguard with a 5-way pickup selector switch, a volume, and two-tone controls. And then you have a traditional Fender 6-screw traditional tremolo bridge jack, side jack here. And then these are the custom 55 pickups, Stratocaster pickups from Fender for all position, for the neck, for the middle, and for the bridge. At the back, you have a white plate for the trem system, the tremolo block, as well as the springs, and a 4-screw neck joint. Now you can see that this is like a real traditional looking Fender Stratocaster that mimics the 55 models. Now, those guys who have owned a 55, the original 55 model, will probably have their guitars maybe not looking like this unless they're playing every night. They get into fights in the bars, but almost close, almost close. Now, for the relicing, this guy, Jason Smith, does a really good job. So I was wondering why Clement was so excited about the Relic guitars that he's receiving these days. I understand why now. Number one thing that got my attention was this cigarette burn mark right over here. Now, I used to have my cigarette, when I was smoking heavily in the studio, I used to have my cigarette slotted in here. And sometimes when you're playing and then you forget about the cigarette, it kind of burn into the wood and you have this burn mark here. I wonder, can you see this? Yeah? Can you see this? Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then, of course, you have the rust and everything. Now, this guitar is just, it features quite a little bit of rust. I mean, quite a lot of rust, in fact. On the tuners, not too bad. It just tarnished nickel and all that. You get rust on your screws. I took out the back plate and it was rusty. So I've seen how rusty nails are made for Relic guitars. I've seen how they do it. They leave it overnight underwater and all sorts of stuff, and it gets rusty after a while. And they might leave it for a week or so just to get it rusted, right? Thank God the back plate, the neck plate here is just tarnished. It's still good. Probably do have working screws and not rusted for maintenance, especially when it comes to the neck joint, right? And then you have the belt buckle rub, the worn off kind of body, which is so reminiscent of my old my own Fender Japan traditional Strat, contemporary Strat, which I played extensively in the 80s, all through the 90s. And I have buckle rub and wear and tear all over the body, just like this. So this is quite realistic. Really realistic. I've seen some Relic guitars that are not so realistic, paints coming off at places that you don't normally have paint coming off. And this is like really, really, like here you have all these little things. This is probably when you are leaving your guitar against the amp, and sometimes, when you slip off and you create stuff like this, or sometimes it might just fall off the guitar stand. This, I'm not too sure. Now, this is probably a little bit extensive, but it just kind of looks good. The whole finish. Yeah. And then you have the black kind of spots on the fretboard itself that mimics a fretboard that's not been cleaned often. This is definitely clean. I can vouch for it. You can, on close inspection, you can see that these are all purposely done to mimic that kind of feel. Now I've guitars that I've never cleaned for years, and sometimes they look like this, especially with a maple fretboard. But this is definitely clean. Okay, so how does it play? How does it sound? Like I said before, I think this is the Strat-tiest of all Strats that I played, because everything about it just screams Stratocaster, including the soft V neck. This is not a slim neck. There's a big chunk in it, and I like it. I really like it. And 9.5 radius is right up my alley, actually, because I would rather have this on a 7.25, but 9.5 is pretty cool, pretty close enough. There's no compound radius, nothing going on, just a straight old Strat neck. And I like it. I like the way it feels when you're pulling a strings, or when you're pushing a string, when you're bending, when you're holding chords. Nice, right? I just like the playability of this neck. This is one of the most comfortable necks that I've played for a long time on a Strat. And then the sound. Okay, so this custom 55 single coil pickups are lovely. You can get all the ranges of sound that you would expect from a traditional Strat. The in-between quacks, the position 2 and 4, the neck pickup is so nice. So reminiscent of Stevie Ray Vaughan and those guitars that you've heard all your life. They are all there. And then the bridge pickup is really nice. Okay, I really like the bridge pickup because it's not brittle at all. It handles overdrive really well. You gotta be careful where you're standing because it might just feed back, But other than that, it just has that, that mid range. I'm so excited because I am excited about hearing it. I'm not overhyped. Yeah. not too much coffee. It's okay, but I just like what I'm hearing through the amp, through my Helix Native. It handles overdrives really well, and that's what I was so surprised. I've played a couple of Strats, traditional ones, that didn't handle overdrive too well because they were made in that era. So this is just nice. Even though the output of these pickups are relatively, they're not hot at all. Maybe low medium. Yeah, so they're not really hot. But hey, it doesn't mean that a hot pickup would make a good overdrive sound. Sometimes a low pickup, a low output pickup, or a medium output pickup will just get the tone done. And this is proof of it. Really nice. I love playing this guitar. I had a good time playing this. Anyway, this guitar comes in with a hard case, with a certificate, and with other stuff. But when I opened this up from the gig bag that it came in, I was afraid to touch it because I thought it was really dirty looking. But on close inspection, it's not. It's really well maintained and well kept. You can tell that it's been cared for. Even though with all this relicing and all that. So yeah. Anyway, this guitar is pre-owned, so I kudos to the previous owner of this, right? That he has really taken care of this guitar. Lovely guitar. I'm sure he has a struggle about letting this go, but anyway, here it is. So if you're interested in this guitar, get hold of Clement, call him up for an appointment, and try it out, and you know what I mean. All right, nice. So relicing. Relicing is something that is in a quiet taste. So not all of us are into relic guitars like me, But this is just one exception. This is one particular exception that I can say I really like this guitar. This ultimate relic guitar. It just appeals to me. Yeah. Let me know what do you think about this guitar. Leave your comments in the comment section down below. I want to hear from you. Again, guitar is available in Guitar 77 Plus Singapore. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel, press that bell for notification of future videos that follow. Be part of Patrons to support this channel. I would appreciate any your support. I thank all my patrons for their wonderful love, their wonderful friendship, and their wonderful support all this time. Thank you so much, guys. I really do mean it. So in the meantime, guys, please take care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon. Arrivederci.